This is the Anthony S. with the Arizona Business Podcast. I'm here with James Greco. James, thanks for coming in.
How you doing?
Shake.
Very nice to meet you. It's Anthony, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Likewise. It's fantastic to meet you. Let's get right into it. What do you do, James?
Well, I do a lot of everything, but mostly I like to call myself right now more of a life coach,
Okay.
blue-collar millionaire.
Okay.
I mean, I've earned my knowledge. Nothing was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
I failed a lot. I got back up, and I performed.
Nice. Yeah. We got some Taozen in the back here.
Yeah, I've been a mixed martial artist all my life, and Taozen is a style of martial arts I teach.
Okay.
It's a martial arts of self-defense.
Okay.
So my style is almost the opposite of Krav Maga, meaning it only gets more aggressive the more people attack you. Mm-hmm. I'm trying not to fight anyone, but if you get more aggressive, my style gets meaner towards you. Okay. So that style makes it so you get less fights. Okay. I created an acronym for when I teach self-defense, and it's called SAVE Love. And the SAVE part is the situation, awareness, and a verbal exit. Mm-hmm. So if you're driving a Circle K and there's hooligans over there and stuff, go to the next Circle K. If you're in Circle K and hooligans show up and you start walking out and they start catcalling you and your girlfriend or whatever and stuff, part of what I teach in Taozen martial arts is verbal judo. But in that situation, the verbal judo is just keep quiet, get in your car, and leave immediately. Mm-hmm. Don't interact with a bunch of wolves that are barking at you. They're instigating. You don't have to instigate back, but you have to walk with a strong demeanor and purpose. And this will lessen the probabilities of things happening to you, understanding the situations. Now, if they don't understand that and they got your situations and they break your bubble, they're not respecting your words, they're not respecting your distance, they break your bubble. And I normally say, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them some love. We're going to leverage our opposition in a violent or victorious exit. Meaning that if you notice in both of them, the save part is exit and the love part is exit. Because I want to save love. I want you to go home and be safe. But if you brandish a gun, then the guy has to make a decision whether he's going to use a gun. We're not trying to raise the level of trouble. I'm trying to exit that level.
Yes.
So and trust me, this works so well. You're 10 times least likely to get into altercations because you have this demeanor, because they know if they're going to touch you, just like a hot belly stove, you're going to get burnt every time. You're going to get shocked. You're going to get poked. So it's the philosophy of being a porcupine and a bobcat with a lot of wisdom. Okay. Like, hey, don't attack me. It's trouble. But you're not running away, because if you run away, it makes predators want to attack you. Mm-hmm. So if you have to look people in the eye, but you're not looking in the eye, mad dog in the back. You're looking in the eye and going past it. Mm-hmm. You're not looking and staring, because that gets people wanting to either back down, or it gets them wanting to attack you.
You're like pushing them into a decision.
Yes, and that's what I said. If someone's willing to fight me, all I have to do is take one step back, because they'll fight the guy next to me. Because if they can't control their aggression, then they're just coming back out of prison. And they still haven't learned the life lessons that you're not allowed to fight as an adult. You're not allowed to beat people up. There's cameras everywhere. You're going to get sued. And there's all different ways of fighting. You can fight with your fists, and you can fight in court. Yeah. Both ways can cause you lots of aggravation. So,
and I want to bring up one more thing real quick, because I love it. We got a small setup here, a couple of my cameras, and you're starting up a YouTube channel.
Yes, I'm starting up a YouTube channel. It's I'm going to call it Cool Pa TV. So if you grew up with the Cool Pa, you'll say, hey, Dad, this guy's a lot like you, and you're going to buy merchandise for your dad from my channel. And then I will supplement what he taught you. Sometimes it's not his testimony, it's his testimony plus another Cool Pa testimony, get you to finally do what you know you're supposed to do. Yeah. And then I'll be interviewing cool moms and stuff, and that will be what my YouTube channel will be about.
And I'm just excited because the editing part can be annoying sometimes, but for me, like this part right here, like meeting the people is like the best touch, right?
Right, and that's what I'm a people person and stuff like that. I'm not really good with technology, but that's going to be part of what the TV channel is about. I've been a very smart athlete in my life, made money in investing in the stock market because it's all pattern recognition. As soon as I recognize a pattern, I jump in there and capitalize on that.
4 times
I'm a 4-time USA national champion in Greco-Roman wrestling and freestyle wrestling.
That's great.
So those are, if you continue wrestling after college, you do USA wrestling. That's real wrestling.
It's one thing to win once, right?
Right.
What's it like to win 4 times? What's required of you to stay at that level?
Well, what's required is anyone who still thinks they're tough over 23, is in USA wrestling.
Okay.
And if you're not, wrestling is the only martial arts where you're de-escalating the fight. You're not trying to harm someone. Mm-hmm. When you bring someone up with folk style wrestling, you have to bring them back down in control and stuff. With freestyle and Greco, you are allowed to slam them, but when anyone who's doing freestyle and Greco has already mastered folk style wrestling, and there's an art to training martial arts and wrestling. It's very respectful, and you don't get hurt that much in actually wrestling, freestyle or Greco. Mm-hmm. But if you do jujitsu, you do gymnastics and stuff, you get hurt in those sports.
Oh yeah.
People joint locks and stuff like that's illegal. Off of that. But sometimes people don't know how to train appropriately. Okay. So having the correct training partner is a learned thing. But everyone in college has wrestled hundreds of matches, refereed. So you're very experienced with competition and knowing how to work with the partners and stuff. If you just go somewhere in the beginning and stuff, you make lots of mistakes, and that's where you get injured a lot and stuff like that.
And you brought up something we were talking before when you talked about like your training and how you did, like how you learned a lot of different angles or a lot of different people's one like go-to move or their one, I'd say.
Like, what I learned in life and stuff is I've always been a defensive wrestler, and my coaches never liked that. But I learned when I started attacking people, they started hitting me in the face. My nose started turning. I used to do a lot of modeling. I had to make sure it was back in line. I started getting cauliflower ear because they started hitting me. So unbeknownst to me, I learned how to just, tough guys attack you, life attacks you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I learned how to defend a lot of tough guys' takedown moves. Their initial signature moves. Everyone who's a high school state champion has 2 or 3 signature moves they almost could get on anyone. But when I was in college, I would take on 3-time state champion in New Jersey, you gotta go. And when you meet someone in the beginning, especially alpha males and stuff, they want to prove themselves. So they're willing to show you the moves, and so I got to see a lot of really tough guys' signature moves, and they did get them on me for the first 2 weeks. But something really cool happened. I learned how to stuff a lot of different types of moves. And that's what got me to become a blue collar millionaire, because I learned to take on a lot of different people and what they were good at and survive. And that's what you're mostly doing when you don't have anyone helping you make money. Yeah. You're surviving a lot of mistakes and getting back up.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to call it a blue collar millionaire. I don't need money anymore, so I'm moving more into life coaching. That's what the YouTube channel is going to be about. It's part of me giving back.
When you make a lot of sense there, like, today, as you can tell, I'm a little younger. My eyes know that I'm in that making a lot of mistakes. And you brought up a great point that I want to touch on. That you just talked to a bunch of people that were making money and you asked them. So elaborate more on that if you could. Like, what was that process like? How did you meet people?
Well, all right. So when you meet an entrepreneur, this is the rules of entrepreneurship. If you meet an entrepreneur, he's selling you something. If you meet another entrepreneur, he's selling you something else. If you know 3 entrepreneurs, they may want to mentor you and you might actually learn something instead of just spending your money.
Yeah.
So it's important to know that you need to get yourself around people who care about your self-interest. And most of your generation stuff, under 30 and stuff, you only care about your self-interest. And that's what the problem is. Just like I learned in wrestling that all these state champions, once they realized that there was only one spot at 150 to wrestle, and I already got their move down, that they couldn't beat me in the challenge matches and stuff. So when you work in business, if someone thinks you're going to be their competition, they're going to teach you disinformation. They're going to actually mess with you so you're not competition. So I think it's very important that you get around people and cooperate. Okay. Most schooling system teaches you to compete against your friends. And I'm not into competing. I want us both to get better. And there's plenty of money for everyone. Even in
all boats to rise.
Even on a tournament and stuff, I would say this when I was coaching guys and stuff, our third place guy could be varsity in any other school, but we'll create tournaments where they get first, second, and third place in that tournament. And that's the same thing with being entrepreneurs. If you cheat someone in business, and they find out, they're never going to do business with you again. Not a smart entrepreneur. So it's very important that you try not to go that route. If someone cheats you, don't do, but you're teaching them a lesson too, because it's the cooperation is how you become a blue collar millionaire. Because you can have a lot of money to be taken away from you from a lot of things you don't know about. So you could be really good at one technical thing and make a lot of money in there, but you could not be good on investing and how to do that money. Someone got you in another project, you weren't that good, and you risked too much money. So you can be really good at one thing and excellent at it and still be stupid. So you need
100% like doctors.
Yes.
I mean, no offense to any doctor that ever watches this, but you guys aren't that good at investing. Trust me, I've seen it. But you're amazing at what you do.
And they got terrible handwritings. And the nurse does all the work. The doctor does the last part of it.
Yeah, he does the last important part. The prep, everything else. But that's it's 100%.
called proper career choice. So part of what I want to get across to people is to learn to meet a lot of people.
Okay.
Try to find something that you both have in common together, and you can make money in those areas. But entrepreneurs, I created a system, and I first let people know if you're first an entrepreneur or how to think like an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So the first two things I say to people when I first meet them is, when you hear the letters R and R, what are the first two words come to your head? What were they?
And I said rest and relaxation.
And I normally say to people, that's what most people say, because most people have a boss. If you have a boss, you're looking to take a break from having a boss. When you're an entrepreneur, you're your own boss and you have your own passion and you don't need to take a break. Actually, the opposite. You work all the time because you're very passionate about it. Mm-hmm. That's why I want you to do something you're passionate about, not something that's just making you money. I've done projects that made me money. I made money, but I wasn't happy. And you're doing something else to supplement that because you put too many hours in that. Mm-hmm. So you want to definitely be understanding when you hear the words R and R, you want to reprogram your mind and think research first, then reconnaissance. It's very important you put it in that order. So if you research, that's where you go on the internet. Your generation has all the answers in the world right on this phone here, but you don't use it. I have some people coming to my place here and I can hear their phone tell them to turn left, and they've already been in my place 20 times. I said, turn off your phone. If you can't drive to my place after 20 times being here, that you got to be told to turn left, you're not training the parts of your brain that need to be trained. Yeah. It's just what I learned in fighting and stuff. There's an art to fighting. There's an art to doing anything. And when you get really good at it, it's like riding a bicycle and spinning plates. I could spin 18 plates and still talk on the phone and talk to you. And I don't have to touch the handlebars either. But when you're first riding, if you don't get away from looking for someone else to help you, you're always going to hold on to the steering wheel and you're not going to be able to accomplish much. And as long as you're doing that for me as an employee and you do follow my process, I'm happy. But it's your job, if you want to stop being an employee, to do something different. So wages can pay the rent, but learning how to make profits can make you a fortune. And that's what I'm trying to teach. It's better if we cooperate to make profits together. You could have 100% of a grape, which is very small. You have 30% of a watermelon. So if we're weighing things on volume, let's go where the watermelon action is at, and let's work together off of this, and we can make more money.
I want to we're stopping right there because that was such a great ending, and I don't cut. That was fantastic, James. That was 100%. I can tell that we're going to be having James around, and I'm excited to see the YouTube. But for now, that is the Anthony S. Arizona Biz Podcast. James, thank you for coming on.